As a kid, I didn't start going to church until maybe junior high-ish. I think my mom started to go, and then was like, hey, you should come with. So I did occasionally. Slowly got connected with people, and then my youth pastors, once I started really to see what it was like to be a Christian, they're kind of they took me under their wing, I guess. And I look at it as like a one-way relation, like it was more of a one-way relationship, right? I did a lot of the talking. And God is God, He is creator, but a bit more distant. Like, you can read of, tongues and healing and these different things in the Bible, but that's when they happened. And if they happen now, it's rare, to me. Well, during COVID, we were recording services in our living room for our church at the time, Alyssa and I, and so we're like, we're not going to watch those. And so what are we going to do? And a family member was a part of TFH OC, so we started there, watching their services, and then it turned into Vacaville. But hearing the messages from Pastor Dave, it was, wait, you can have an understanding of God and you can have the Holy Spirit. Like, wait, these two things can come together and make sense together. And so my eyes were starting to be opened, I think. So I found out that I had arthritis because after a surgery and kind of recovery, I had become numb from who knows. And so they're like, see one doctor, I don't know. Let's send you here. Well, we don't know. It wasn't us. It wasn't our fault, the surgeon. And I got a call, and come to find out, I have the back of an 80-year-old. So it was just more questions and more, hey, we still don't know why this is happening. Why am I numb from my waist to my knees, essentially? We have no answers for you, which was nothing new. We don't have any answers for you, but what you could try and what we recommend and what you will need down the road at some point is a fusion of your lower back. But we don't know if that will actually solve the problem that you're having. I was like, cool, that's probably the worst news I could get. We show up to Pursuit, find out, hey, there's this prophet Bill is gonna be there. And again, I'm only a few months into TFH, maybe 6 months. And this is new to me. Like, what is this about? Like, I've never witnessed anything like this. So we sit down and he's prophesying over my friends and I'm like, what is happening? Like, this is insane. How are you telling me, or how are you speaking over my friends? I've known them forever. You just met them. And I'm like, wow, like, this is crazy. So towards the end, we went way long. And then Pastor Jake is like, no, hey, we need to pray for healing. Will you come up and pray for healing? And I'm sitting, just behind where I'm sitting now. And after being in ministry for so long, I was never the one to actually step up and admit that I needed help. And I hear God say, trust me. And I go, I do trust you. He said, just trust me. And I knew at that moment I needed to walk up there. And he had my attention. And so I went up and got prayed over. And I'm thinking in my head, like, I don't feel any different. But I remember him saying, just have faith, come on. Like, I'm in the car on the way home and I don't feel much different, but all of this has happened right in my head. And I'm in the car with Alyssa and I just got this, it's crazy. It's so cool. This urging to like, you need to tell her, right? I want her to know what I've done, like essentially. So I tell her, like, God said this, and I didn't necessarily want to, and I've never done it before, but this is what happened. And it was in that moment I told her that, like, it's hard to describe, like warm, fuzzy, like I was light as a feather, but like tingly and my whole body. And I was like, whoa, like in my mind, right? I'm like, that was nuts. Like it was that moment that God healed me, and it was like made new. Like I still have, so that issue from my numbness was completely healed. He wants the glory. Like he's the one doing amazing things, right? And he just, why not tell everyone, you know, like he wants the glory. And he wants us to believe and know, like, and just have faith, even a little bit. Like, that's all he wants. And the funny thing is like I had no answers, and it was a cool way of him just going like, no, I'm the answer.